Day 200. Can you believe it? 200 days already. So I just got out of the shower. I was basically hanging out outside all day. I tried to go on live earlier. There was a problem with my sound, probably the data. So here we are again. And I am redoing live. And so I was like trying to think of like, what can I talk about today? And then the thing is like when you've done like you're doing 365 days live, it's like there's some days where I'm like, I have nothing to say. And then there's other days where I'm like, I have so much to say. And then there's other days where it's like, I need to like reflect a little bit more and be like, oh, well, what can I share today? And what is, words of wisdom, inspiring. Because like one of my friends / clients, Courtney, she like messaged me. She's like, I need some Julie words of wisdom. And so I was really like, what am I going to talk about? And I actually thought of something because I found it is extremely powerful to talk about this, of something I realized even more so. So it's really interesting of like something I already knew, but certain environments and changes allows it to really go in like much more full depth. And this is where my gate 15 in love for humanity in human design comes in. And I wanted to talk about this because I do think it's really important. And I think that the more people that hear this, you could take that moment and take that step back and just pause for a second before reacting. We have become such a society of reaction to people that don't agree with us, reaction to what we see online. And very much like if somebody doesn't agree with us, we go quick to disagree with them and prove them wrong. Or if we see something online, we go quick to like go in the comments and be like, this is bullshit. And I don't know where along the way, like if this was something we always dealt with in humanity or something that like got lost in translation along the decades or centuries. I have no idea. I didn't study that. But I think that moving forward, if we create the intention to be more compassionate and kind, nobody's ever going to be you. Nobody's ever going to be exactly like you are, your beliefs and how you view the world. And as much as you want them to be like, oh, like I wish they could just see it the way I do, or see the political views that I see, or see the situation as I see. We can't expect that from anybody. And what made me realize that is that in Tofino, I was like surrounded by a lot of like-minded human beings, which like I love. And coming to Whistler and reconnecting with old friends and not being here for like over a year has allowed me to see that, there are certain views that they see certain things differently than I do. And instead of saying that they are wrong, instead of, being like, well, why haven't they realized? Or, like, why don't they see things the way I see them? I just took a step back and I'm like, that's okay. Because you know what? It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if they agree with some things I believe in and they disagree with others, and vice versa if I agree with some things and disagree with others. The fact of the matter is that the friendships that I created here in Whistler and the friendships that I created in Tofino is that you can find that common ground amongst that conversation. But then you can also, I have been able to have friendships that I'm able to hold space for one another. Like if I'm talking about a certain subject that they may not agree with, they can still hold space for it. And they can say, well, interesting point of view, but I don't necessarily agree with you. And then I can be like, okay, that's all good. And I think that is really important to make that intention with one another, to say like, yeah, you may disagree with me and that's cool, instead of trying to like force someone and thank you, Courtney, force someone to believe what you believe. because everybody's on their own journey. Everybody views the world differently. Nobody's going to view the world the way you do. And at the end of the day, if someone wants to view something one way, then that's them and that's their life. And you get to choose who you want to be around with. You get to choose who you want to have a conversation with. So let's practice more kindness and compassion. And, like, a minute you talk to someone or you see something online and it triggers you, it creates this reaction and you're like, how dare they? Take that moment for a second and just acknowledge where they're at in their journey. And I think we can go a long way, because I think that by being able to hold space for each other in our own views and in our own beliefs, and being able to just listen to what the other person is saying, even if we disagree with it, it is still something. It is still growth, and it is like still expanding our consciousness. We're still learning something amazing, even if we disagree, because they're going to give us a point of view that we didn't think of. They're going to show us a different way of looking at things. And so get curious, be kind, be compassionate, and listen to what that person is saying. Even if it's like far left, far right, or something in between, or none of it all. It doesn't matter. And so I wanted to share that, because that was something that I've had really like good conversations in the past 24 hours of being here in Whistler with people from, all walks of life, people from different views. And we were able to still have these like beautiful conversations and not bite each other's heads off and be like, that's cool. Thank you for sharing your view, and I'm just going to share mine. So try it on for a change and see what happens, instead of going into that angry, like, how dare you not think the way I think or believe the way I believe. Everybody's on their own journey, and you are on your own as well. And so just be kind, be compassionate. And if the person doesn't vibe with you, that's cool too. But it doesn't mean you need to bite their head off. So something to think about. And so that's my words of wisdom today that I wanted to share. This is day 200. Back and done 200 lives. Holy shit. And so I'll be back tomorrow. And speak to you then. Bye.